This is a PodCo original.
When it came to the pandemic, like a lot of people streamed older stuff because, let's face it, it wasn't the strike yet, but there wasn't things being filmed. People wanted new, fresh content, especially Gen Z, and they found that there was a lot of quality content.
Right, they started watching The Office and stuff.
West Wing and anime had a resurgence. I guess certain things are timeless. Let's be bitter, but let's not take anyone else down, okay? Because I know some bitter bitches out there that love taking people down. That's not gonna be our vibe. We are gonna be big name bitches that bring people up or talk a little bit of shit about bigger concepts, right?
I'm too busy taking my own self down, okay? I don't need to take anyone down with me. All right? Don't worry, I'm not taking you guys down. Don't worry, this ship is sinking and it's noticeable. I'm just kidding. I love being self-deprecating. I love it. We're realists through and through, so come be real with us. We love you big name bitches.
Welcome everybody to Big Name Bitches.
Welcome! Woo! We're here and we're in a better mood than we were last time, we swear.
Swear. It's ups and downs. It's hills and valleys, Anneliese.
It's floors and ceiling tops. It's sandwiches and apples. It's what? This isn't making sense.
What is it? It's not stable, is what it is.
I know. I'm sober and I'm the least stable I've ever been in my life.
I think about that all the time. And you know what? That's why we used to have mocktails. I think I'm still gonna miss all of our amazing mocktails. Obviously, last shout out to Lauren O'Brien for our in-studio mocktails that we used to have. But for real, like I will never not love mocktails, and I had so much fun in studio. Which, by the way,
you're still allowed to have mocktails, though, Christy. Don't worry. We can have mocktails at my place, at your place. Don't worry.
Yes.
It's not over.
No, of course not. Nothing's over. Actually, I'm all about new beginnings. I think after turning 40, I'm looking at life so differently. I am actually really excited for you to end up turning 40 soon. Not soon, but like in a year. And in a year or 2 years?
In a year or two? Oh, no. Okay, now I love you. Now I'm back to loving you. I'm like, I
don't remember the math. Oh, gosh. So we're going to do a great job of learning to listen to each other. I'm loving that because we don't have the mocktails to distract us.
I mean, listening is the key to acting, and I think it's literally why I stopped. Just kidding. I hate acting because you have to listen to the other actor. It's horrible.
You know, I actually kind of think I do somewhat hate acting. I think I need to get over that and figure out what I was put on this earth for.
I know. What do you mean?
What do you mean? Light stuff.
Light stuff. I know, right? I don't want to get into that, but I do.
Like, there's Of course we do. We should do it. That's who we are.
Yeah.
I think that when we look back at our careers, you and I are in a very like we are both in a very similar place, and that, you know, we've put all of ourselves for so many years, decades even, into this kind of version of ourselves and this, like, you know, industry or whatever. And then you get to a place, and I'm sure other people can relate, because their pathways in their lives like go one way, and they think that their lives going to be a certain way, and then when it changes. So much fundamentally changes about the way they see the world, the way that they're going to make money, the way that they interact with people, the goals that they have for the remainder of their life on this earth, right?
This podcast is presented to you by Lash Paradise Mascara from L'Oreal Paris. And boy, am I glad she came around. It's making my lashes so full and so thick. It's helping me take my lash from day to night without it getting heavy, clumpy, gross. I'm not like pulling the excess mascara off my lashes because this separates so well. Can you tell? I love it. Forget Sephora. Order Lash Paradise now on Amazon and join me.
All right, ladies, it's time to upgrade your shapewear. Support for today's episode comes from Honey Love. And whether you are a bride, a wedding guest, or simply seeking everyday smoothing, Honey Love is your go-to for shapewear. It has revolutionized compression technology, and you no longer have to feel like you're suffocating while wearing effective shapewear. Plus, they won't even roll down no matter how much you're grooving on the dance floor. Honey Love Shapewear features lingerie-inspired design details that you'll want to show off, and it's made with this breathable fabric that keeps you nice and cool. It really does. So treat yourself to the best bras and shapewear on the market and save 20% off at honeylove.com/big. Use our exclusive link and get 20% off honeylove.com/big. And after you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. So please support our show and tell them we sent you. Shape your life with Honeylove. You know, I think like if we want to say like, oh, there's bitterness or there's not bitterness with the Big Name Bitches crew, I don't know if you, because you've actually said, yes, I'm okay with being bitter. And I'm always like, do I say I'm bitter or do I say that that's something I'm working through? Like, what do we think about bitterness?
Oh, that's a great, I mean, listen, there's so many things to say about acting. You know, I'm with an actor. I'm an actor. Acting is so masturbatory. That's a made up word. I made it up I talked about.
No, that's a real word.
Masturbatory? Oh yeah, we talked about
yes.
that. Sorry.
It means masturbating.
Masturbating, yeah, to oneself, right? It's just so egotistical. It's so self-centered. You have to think about not yourself a lot, but people, and sort of be with yourself a lot. And it's really hard. I think, you know, I've stopped caring as much, but I think people can hold two thoughts in their head. Like I'm kind of, you know, I don't care about being bitter because it's okay to be bitter. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it's okay to be better. Sometimes, you know, it's weird, Christy, we are actors, but I do hate it. I hate it. I thought I liked it, but I don't. I don't really like asking myself, what's the point of this scene? What do I want? What's standing in my way? How do I overcome this? Where is this actor from? How would somebody sit in the 1920s? Is my accent good? And then you just go through this crazy, crazy thing about the competition and letting it go, you know, not letting this career and this business consume you when it's such a, like I said, egotistical craft. There's like it's like
I think you've grown. I think you've grown to this place. I think you and I are very, very similar, and I think it is really fascinating that you are with an actor who's. I think. I mean, I don't know. He seems very joyful in terms of like his career and his approach to his career, and he sets his boundaries. He's outputting at a high level, but
he's working on it. He's working on acceptance and sort of not letting the business consume you and having a life outside of it and understanding like what makes you happy, because you can't just wait around for auditions and parts, right? That the whole business is even when the whole business is being idle, even when you're Emma Stone, you know, even when you take breaks or you decide that this project isn't for you. It's just interesting. It's like sometimes we'll work on an audition. I'll work on an audition with Jonah for so long, and we feel so good about it, and then like he'll get a note from his manager or, you know, a casting director like that it's just totally wrong, and you just start questioning yourself. You start not trusting if you're intelligent, if you understand acting, if you understand character development. It's just there's no right answers. It's very gray and very hard. It's just very
it is
hard.
A completely subjective art form, which is something that I think Anneliese has said in the past as well. And also something that I want to talk about today outside of, you know, our bitterness, is movies from when we were actually growing up and in the industry and whatnot, but like throwback movies, but not on TV, because my husband and I started watching Lost.
Christy, I started watching Lost. What the fuck? That's crazy. I started watching Lost with because John had already seen it. I've never seen it. Are you rewatching or are you watching it for the first time?
Okay, so this is an interesting thing. I wonder if anyone out there can relate to this, but I kind of watched Lost and then I kind of didn't. So like somehow I know everything that's going to happen, but I wasn't a fan of the show. I don't remember like what Evangeline Lilly was wearing in every episode kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't remember. Right. I'm like, I think there's a love triangle. Like, oh, I think that baby and that guy and this, that. And like, it's so funny because that's like the framework of being a millennial is like, you're like, yeah, I think I saw that because my brother or my sister used to watch it, or, you know what I'm saying? Like the connectivity is kind of fusing. And so I'm like, babe, I'm pretty sure this guy's like, you know, in a wheelchair, and I'm not going to say who, but like, I'm pretty sure.
Do that to him. Wait, does he see Lost?
Wait. So he hasn't, and I had a really hard time, and I was like, wait for it.
Don't do it. Listen, don't do that. I was actually in an escape room the other day this weekend, and I realized about halfway through that I had already been in that escape room and knew all the answers, and basically had to shut the hell up just so I didn't ruin the experience for this guy and his birthday and everything. But I don't do that with TV and film. This is what I was talking about with my mother. She never understood why people watched movies more than once. But I have this with drinking. There are so many movies I drank through that I just do not remember. You know what I mean? So I have to watch them. I have to watch watch them again. And I know exactly what you mean, where you're watching them, but sort of doing like another activity, where you're watching a movie, but you just weren't really deeply paying attention or something, like, or you weren't addicted to it enough to remember plot. That's a long show.
Yes.
How good is Lost? Like, can we just talk about how good Lost is and how
we can't shut up about it? It's like, and I really hope it does get some sort of a resurgence. I know people probably have found their way back to a lot of these kinds of things when it came to the pandemic. Like, a lot of people streamed older stuff because, let's face it, it wasn't the strike yet, but there wasn't things being filmed. And so it was this weird thing where people wanted new, fresh content, especially Gen Z. And they found that there was a lot of quality content back in the day. Like,
they started watching The Office and stuff. Right.
And West Wing. And I think anime had a resurgence, or even just found new audiences, because I remember hearing that from Will Friedle. And it was like, oh yeah, like, people are really into animation now. Like, I don't know why. I'm like, that's really interesting. I guess certain things are timeless. Lost is still, it holds up.
It holds up. It's fascinating. I have no idea what's going on. There's it's a little bit slower pace, but I like that in a way. There's still enough going on, enough plot. Now, I'm going to ask you a very important question. I want everybody else to pay attention and to tell us. Are you Team Jack or are you Team Sawyer?
See, I knew there was a triangle somewhere. We haven't gotten to that place yet. And it is really interesting to see, like, the way that leading men have changed. Like, we now have I feel like, we either have like hyper masculine, like The Rock type, leading men,
or John Wilson. I love him.
He is but I technically think, yes, he can be. He's like a jack of all trades, Jono, because, like, yes, he can be a leading man, but he also can be a character actor, which is like very unique.
You're very sweet.
I'm thinking Timothy Chalamet. I'm thinking Timothy Chalamet, and how, like, that's like the up and coming, like, hot guy, or like these guys in Challengers, which to me are like.
What do you think about that? How they're like really promoting that it's a 3. Oh, really? Oh, I'm kind of into them. I mean,
you remember Y Tu Mama Tambien was like a big threesome movie, but it was like an indie film, and so,
what was
like,
that? Who was in
really
that?
Loved. Maribel Verdú, and it was Maribel Verdú, Diego Luna, Gael Garcia Bernal, and they are like the throuple, I guess you want to call it. And they're 2 teenage boys that take a road trip with her, and they, like, sexy things happen. So I think, like, Challengers seems like I don't even know how we got on Challengers, guys, but hi, this is the podcast.
Yes.
Hi, squirrel.
And if you think like me that Challengers is some big, like, X-Men, like, action film, you're wrong. Okay, don't make the same mistake. I know it sounds like that. It sounds like a video game, but it's not. It's with Zendaya, and it's that tennis
not
movie.
Fallout.
It's not Fallout. Oh my God. It's with Zendaya. And then this, fabulous actor who's a Broadway actor. He was in
one of the
Dear
guys?
Evan Hansen. Dear Evan Hansen. Yes. So Mike Fast, he was in Dear Evan Hansen. He played this sort of emo guy. He's got a beautiful singing voice. And then Josh O'Connor. And then, of course, Zendaya is the lead actress in this film. And yeah, they're premiering it and previewing it, and the ads all show them as a threesome. What were you going to say about it? That's pretty much all I know.
No, I've been seeing the memes go around right now that all of the Spider-Man, like, girlies, like Kirsten Dunst, Emma Stone, yep, that's her name, and her all played. What is her name? Who's the love interest of Spider-Man?
Robin? No, Molly. Jane?
No.
Jane.
Yeah, Jane? No, it's definitely not Jane. Yes, Mary Jane. Thank you.
Mary Jane.
You're right.
I said Molly Jane. I was just thinking drugs.
Mary Jane. All of the Mary Janes ended up starring in tennis movies, which is a really funny meme. That is funny and true. How stupid.
Wild. It means there's too many. There means there's too many tennis movies being made. Because who has that much interest in tennis? Am I right?
Oh my God, tennis! You went to the U.S. Open. That was when we started our podcast. We started talking about how you had gone to the U.S. Open, and now we are here full circle talking about Mary Jane. So basically, I think it's a fantastic vehicle for her to step into her, like, adult, because I still see her and see a little bit of youth in her, which is amazing. That's why she's on the top of her game. But, like, I still see her and I'm like, she did Euphoria, and in some ways it definitely divorced her from her Disney image. But then, like, the Challengers is really, she consistently gives people like different layers of her ability to act, right? Without the bitterness and without the approach that's feeling like she really does inhabit different human beings. And like speaking from it, like that's not an easy thing to do and to will yourself to do day in and day out, right?
Right. I mean, I think it's going to be very hard for us to just not see Zendaya, the supermodel. You know what I mean? Like, that's just all it is. It's like, she'd have to... I mean, I'd say a period piece, but Dune is a period piece, but like something where she just completely, I don't know, wears a prosthetic face. I have no idea, but you know what I mean? Like to me,
like when we reviewed Sofia Vergara in Griselda, actually really did think she did a fantastic job of balancing her sexuality, her sensuality with the ugliness of this character who became more and more like completely unhinged. That's a really good point that you make, Doctor, Professor.
Wow.
Look at us. Look at us reviewing stuff.
I know, but I haven't seen it. I can't wait to see it. When's it out?
I know.
Let me just
Challengers. I think it's totally out. It's totally out.
Yeah.
We are not doing a good job. We were talking more about throwback stuff, but it was inevitable for us to talk about Challengers.
And Zendaya, we love
apparently,
Zendaya.
yes, we always have. We've always shouted her out as an icon.
This podcast is presented to you by Lash Paradise Mascara from L'Oreal Paris. And boy, am I glad she came around. How's everybody feeling about their eyelashes these days? How you feeling? You feeling good? Are they strong? Are you rocking the fake, the falsies? Are you going to Sephora? What are you doing? Drop that, lose that, get rid of it, and buy this, okay? Buy this. Get it now. I am obsessed. Lash Paradise Mascara. Lash Paradise Mascara from L'Oreal Paris. Order it now on Amazon. You won't be sorry. Mostly because I love this for so many reasons, and trust me, I know what I'm talking about. I've done a lot of theater, a lot of shows, a lot of, listen, I don't want to go through my credits. Just a lot of stuff. And my eyes have taken a lot of damage. I also tend to sort of pull on my lashes, which I shouldn't admit. And I wear a lot of falsies, and I even do Latisse to strengthen my lashes. But I'm finding I don't have to do this with Lash Paradise. It's making my lashes so full and so thick. It's helping me take my lash from day to night without it getting heavy, clumpy, gross. I'm not like pulling the excess mascara off my lashes because this separates so well. Can you tell? I love it. Forget Sephora. Order Lash Paradise now on Amazon and join me.
All right, ladies, it's time to upgrade your shapewear. Support for today's episode comes from Honey Love. And whether you are a bride, a wedding guest, or simply seeking everyday smoothing, Honey Love is your go-to for shapewear. It has revolutionized compression technology, and you no longer have to feel like you're suffocating while wearing effective shapewear. Plus, they won't even roll down no matter how much you're grooving on the dance floor. I adore this product line. It is fantastic. It truly does have amazing compression technology. It has this like signature X that they have around your midsection. I've had 2 kids. I've worn shapewear since having 2 kids. It's just sort of like a go-to thing. But what I will say is that it is so sexy when you wear it. It's got this like kind of very like boudoir feel to it. It doesn't feel like shapewear at all. Honey Love Shapewear features lingerie-inspired design details that you'll want to show off, and it's made with this breathable fabric that keeps you nice and cool. It really does. So treat yourself to the best bras and shapewear on the market and save 20% off at honeylove.com/big. Use our exclusive link and get 20% off honeylove.com/big. And after you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. So please support our show and tell them we sent you. Shape your life with Honey Love. Okay, so what other things did you watch when you were growing up besides, you did not see Lost, but did you watch Friends, Seinfeld? Like, what was your jam?
That's exactly. Like, I thought you were talking like we should, just because it's fun, like sort of rate 90s sitcoms. And I was already thinking like, yeah, Seinfeld would be up there for me. And then I started thinking about Friends and Sex and the City. And then I started thinking about how many white people were on TV back then, and how difficult it is for me to sort of accept that, man, I was watching a lot of white people. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? I definitely watched Martin, TGIF, but it's like, that's so sad that there were only so many channels with so many freaking white people. Like, right? You know what I'm saying? But you notice that stuff now, right? I mean,
like,
my mom always noticed
back.
it.
Don't do
I
it.
know.
Don't look back. Your mom noticed it?
Wait, so I don't know. Like, my mom was always like, we watched a lot of PBS and stuff like that, and a lot of musicals like on PBS, and yeah. But my mom definitely talked about that there were no black people on Seinfeld or black people on Friends. She always really ticked her off, and then she always felt like, yeah, that if there was a black show, it was all black people, and
right.
I don't know. And she felt like they weren't given the cred of writing, and Bill Cosby came around, and then of course he screwed that up. So we can't even really say we liked Bill Cosby at the Cosby Show anymore. I did watch the Cosby Show.
Here's the thing.
I did watch that. Yeah.
That no matter what
and Fresh
is
Prince
happening there. Yes, and then that too. I mean, here's the thing: you can't win with anything. We talked about this last week. Or actually,
right.
Yeah, we talked about this Monday. It's really hard to look back and be like, well, let's just cherry pick what makes us feel good about history. The fact is that the Cosby Show broke records and did a huge amount of service to, I would imagine, the community to create more inclusive storytelling. Right. But again, we're not a part of that community, right? So like we're visitors in that. But I want to say I watched UPN and I watched all the, okay, I'm telling you right now, yes, Fresh Prince, yes, Martin, yes, Girlfriends, yes.
I watched Girlfriends and Sister.
Living Single. I was watching
God.
shows that I was not supposed to be watching. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Oh, wait, Christy, I forgot about these shows. I was watching Living Single too.
A Different World. Come on, A Different World.
Okay, yeah, I'm a liar. I'm just...
Family Matters.
I know. I ended up working with Julia. He directed a lot of That's So Raven episodes. And I loved him.
Did he really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's so weird. I really did enjoy, and I've interviewed him in the past, and I feel like he definitely has some animosity towards that legacy. You know what I mean? But I think when you're a kid and you're doing this like big situational comedy and you're trying to, again, and this is the theme of the show today, trying to like embody another human being. And then like you're creating this ridiculous, absurd human being with these like two, later down the road, he became like cool Urkel. And so he went through some time machine or something and he took some juice or something and he like became cool.
What was the new name?
Oh my God. Not Urkel. It was like something else.
Yeah, something with an E. He was adorable. But, to me, it was
Let us know, guys.
Sort of Three Stooges. Like, I just don't like that kind of, and I think I even do it myself and did it in That's So Raven. But, like, yeah, the outlandish just... I don't know.
Character acting. Character acting.
Yeah, I guess.
So yeah, I love Seinfeld. Though Seinfeld. I never really liked it.
Ooh,
not a popular opinion.
Oh, interesting. Please give me. It's like one of my favorite shows. Please tell me why. I find this stuff so fascinating. I also watched Sex and the City, and we talked about that last week, but I'm just trying to spit it out before I forget because I'm old now. Tell me why you don't like Seinfeld. Tell me why that you don't like Seinfeld. Too Jewish?
No, that's not it.
I'm Jewish, so I can say that.
It's literally just it was a show about nothing, which is part of the show, right? Where they create a show about nothing. Mm-hmm. And I have come to appreciate Curb Your Enthusiasm now because my husband's made me watch it. But for the longest time, like he has a lot of different comfort shows because he watches them before he goes to bed. But I couldn't wrap my head around it. And I was like, Elaine is kind of annoying and Kramer's kind of annoying and Jerry's kind of annoying. And like, it was all like not hitting. And this is me, guys. This is me. I don't know if you can relate to me on this, but I mean, I'm not saying I'm not a fan. I'm not saying I can't find some nostalgia with it if it were to be put on.
You're allowed to not like Seinfeld. I mean, I've lost all respect for you, of course, and you're, if you know anything about comedy. No, I mean, listen, I get it.
It's true.
I always thought that was so funny how they said it was a show about nothing, and I wondered if it was just because the last episode. But like, of course, if you had to put it on paper, it's a show about four friends living in New York City, just like the show Girls, just like friends, you know. He did situational comedy, right? That's his stand-up. And I always like that, noticing what everybody else notices, the annoying things that people do. That's really what it was about. But Elaine, she made me really want to be a strong, fierce woman who wore blazers. You know what I mean? But let me
with shoulder pads.
Shoulder pads, exactly. Speaking of, you guys, is anybody tuning in and looking at us at our jackets?
I have some shoulder pads. Yeah, look at us.
Yeah, we're wearing what are they, muskets, or what are those?
Musket?
No,
I
not
think that's a gun.
No.
These are what?
I can't remember what it's called. Jono had to wear it to an audition the otother day, like a blazer with what is it called? Oh, who cares?
Shoulder pads.
Yeah, shoulder pads.
No,
you're right. Moving on.
We'll say. I feel so old today.
Why?
I don't know why.
Oh,
I don't know why.
Maybe because we're talking about the 90s.
Is that what it is? I will tell you something.
What?
Now that I'm 40, on this other side of 40, a few months in, I feel really good about it. I also don't feel really good about it. There's a part of me that like really is really noticing that like our time on this planet is so short.
Is this because Mother's Day is coming up, or what's happening?
And that too, right? Like that's coming up.
Yeah.
I've got a lot going on. But for real, I think you think to yourself like certain milestones you hit as a human being, and like it's one thing to be like, oh, I've been sober this long, or oh, I've been a mom this long. But it's another thing to be like, oh shit, no, like I'm actually like aging, and I'm 40 and there's limited time on this planet. So you know how like I think like, and maybe you can speak to this too, Anneliese, about like your body clock. Like, did you ever feel like you wanted to have kids, or that your like physical like body clock was telling you that you wanted that at all?
Gosh, what a great question, Christy. No, I haven't had that. Today, it's funny, I was thinking about getting older today too, because like, when you get Botox and sort of half of your face has been lifted, right? So I get it on my forehead and then under my eyes, and like half of this top half of my face lifts, but then the bottom of my face hangs, right? Because there's no Botox to be done around here. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to talk. So I was thinking about how old I am, and I thought, gosh, I'm 40. I'm almost 40. Can you imagine if I haven't been getting Botox for the last 15 years, how I'd really look? Like, I wonder if I'd be okay mentally, truly. I think a lot of us don't even know what it's like to age gracefully. Like, I'm wondering how sad I'd be every day if I really had the wrinkles that I'm supposed to have. Anyway, as far as babies, no, I haven't. The only time I ever think about having babies is when somebody says, who's going to take care of you when you're older? Or when I think, okay, I don't want to do the business anymore. I hate the rejection. What's my purpose? But I think having a child for a purpose is not the right thing. It scares me more to have a child than it scares me to not have a child. Let's put it that way.
What a beautiful answer. That really was beautiful. Thank you. And very honest.
Yeah, very honest.
We'll give you guys more of that side of us if you really like that, and let us know if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do. It's our new channel, our new YouTube channel. It's just going to get us, I think, more positive feedback on like who's really watching our pod and what you guys want to see. When we had me over on my channel, I was obviously rebranding, but I really just want us. Yeah, I mean, we're hanging out and enjoying each other's company. And so if you guys like to see different sides of our personality, well, you're in the right place. And if not, go fuck yourself.
No, I know. Sometimes I'm like, I really, it's important to, if you have a platform, to know what the people who are listening want to hear. For sure, you can't just spoon feed, you have to be real and talk about things that interest you. But I do wonder, like, who is listening to us sometimes, and who is a mother? Are there single women watching me and wanting my advice, and then mothers, wanting your advice, or vice versa? It is sort of really interesting to I was talking to my friend Aiden, Jono, and my friend Aiden Mayeri, who's an actress, and she was just saying how she likes the pod, and I was like, oh, thanks, and I asked her how old she was, because I was like, I don't think I know your actual age, and she said 33, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. Sometimes I think it's for a younger crowd. They're like, no, and sort of mentioning the things we were bringing up, and I was like, yeah, it's just interesting. Like, yeah, who are our fans these days? Who is listening? Anybody?
Well, we have a really cool thing though, where we're asking you guys to write in inquiries at podco.us. Go ahead, and you you guys can write in, email us, stories that you want us to review or moments that you've had that we'd love to digest with you.
Yeah.
I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Any questions you might have? Maybe you want to be on the pod. You can also slide into our DMs, leave a voice memo there on Big Name Bitches.
Yes.
It's really whatever way you want to contact us. Maybe you don't believe in email. Maybe you're over email. Maybe you're a millennial who hates technology like me. Okay. And maybe you want to talk about that. Maybe you just want to talk about that.
You did. I just want to say, I have to give Anneliese her props. She did a fantastic job of setting up this whole green screen that we have behind us, which looks like a beautiful curtain. One thing I will say,
Christy's so lying.
I'm lying.
I needed so much help. She's saying she's so proud of me. I needed so much help to set this shit up, but thank you. In the end, we did it, and I should just accept the compliment. Thank you.
You stuck with it, and that's what matters. Is that you did not quit. I'm in the mindset these days of not quitting. Okay. And we all know, you and I both know why.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about. And it's terrible. I hope I'm not a bad influence because quitting is one of my favorite things to do, if I'm being totally honest. I love it.
Yes. I know you have quit a couple times, but that was for real. I think those reasons were just personally. And
Thank you.
You know, sometimes we agree to do things and they're for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? And it's like, you got to take care of yourself. You got to put your mask on before you put another person's mask on, which reminds me of Lost, because Evangeline Lilly does that. Before she actually does put, was it her mask? And then she puts the mask on of her marshal, who was, I think bringing her to justice.
Yes, exactly. She just did the right thing because she's a good person. She's so freaking hot. She's so freaking, isn't she adorable? She's just this little tomboy who's also very attractive and a woman. And I'm into Lost. I am into Lost. It's so funny though when some random person from the flight who's like on the island shows up, right? You're like, wait, you're here, right? Because there's so many extras, so many random people on the island that don't have lines or a part, but then they'll just show up and you're like, what? I've never been introduced to you before, but okay, I'll wrap my head around this.
How convenient. Exactly. How convenient. I don't think that would fly. I think people are so critical of nuance these days versus back then. Talking about throwback stuff. I think we kind of like still believed in like big Hollywood magic and that's convenient that this person is, coming into the ER and Grey's Anatomy, and it just happens to be like someone's ex-boyfriend, and now they have to deal with it in the,
Yes. Like, oh, this is convenient. Yeah,
but we didn't care so much. Like, we weren't such realists, so down to like be critical. Yes. We're realists, and we're also expecting magical worlds at the same fucking time. Which is it's crazy. Like, maybe that's why it's so reassuring to go back and watch stuff, because it's like, you don't, it's already done. The legacy of something has already been proven to be impactful. There's no questioning whether, I'm not saying that like any of the stuff that you or I did was like a Monet, but it's like when people try to like shit talk like, is the legacy in the room with us? Like that shit. It's kind of like, it's kind of irrefutable that like, there's a certain age range of people that kind of like are aware of who we are and like what we did at a certain point in time. Like that's irrefutable. You can't take that back. So it's kind of like, people just got to give it a break at some point and recognize that like there's like you said, ebbs and flows.
Yeah. And listen, Christy,
ebbs and flows.
You might not be a Monet, but you're a Rembrandt to me, which I think is far better. And I'm Dutch, so I'm a Van Gogh. And speaking of going, I think we should get the hell out of here.
Oh, you big name bitches.
I know.
We love you guys so much. Thank you for hanging with us. This was fun. We just talked shit the whole time.
I love it. We're very bitter and we're allowed to be. I love you all.
Let's be bitter, but let's not take anyone else down. That's the goal, okay? Because I know some bitter bitches out there that love taking people down. That's not going to be our vibe. We're going to be big name bitches that bring people up or talk a little bit of shit about bigger concepts, right? Like, I don't know.
I'm too busy taking my own self down, okay? I don't need to take anyone down with me. All right? Don't worry. I'm not taking you guys down. Don't worry. This ship is sinking and it's noticeable. I'm just kidding. I love being self-deprecating. No, I love it. We're realists through and through. So come be real with us. We love you, you big name bitches. Thanks for watching.